All right, so any questions on 14? Yes, no, maybe? Are we all right? Everything good? Questions on 14? Yes, sir. Yep, you got till tomorrow. So what does number 17 say, please, and thank you? 60? Okay. So take a look at the standard form of your equation for circles, right? Do we have anything in front of the x squareds or in front of the y squareds? No. So what am I going to do to get the x squared and y squared isolated here? Divide by what? The equation for a circle is going to be x minus h quantity squared plus x minus k quantity squared equal to r squared. Where the h and k are the center of the circle, r is the radius of the circle. All right, so over here, what's 15x squared over 15? X squared. 15y squared over 15? Y squared. And what's 60 divided by 15? 4, right? So same setup as before. I need the two pieces of information. I need my center, and I need my radius. So, again, what's the center? 0, 0, right? Nothing added inside with x, nothing added inside with y. How do I find r? Square root the number outside, right? So what's the square root of 4? 2. So there's my radius. All right. 60 divided by 15. Everybody all right? Any questions? Yes or no? All right. So set up your axis. Let me pick a color we can see. Hey, there we go. Our equations are always equal to r squared. So we square root this number to get the r. So again, we're centered at 0, 0, right? Radius of 2. Go out 2 on all 4 of your axes. Connect them. There you go. All right. Everybody good with the center and radius, how to find a circle? Yes or no? Everybody all rock? Cool. All right, so there's 17 done. 23. What does 23 say? Okay, so they're telling you that the circle is centered at 0, 0, right? And the radius is 8. Everybody okay with that? Yeah? So take your standard form and just plug in the information. What's the x-coordinate to our center? 0, right? What's the y-coordinate to our 0? Or to our circle? And what's the radius? 8. Everybody okay? What's x minus 0? X squared is just x squared, right? Y minus 0 is y, so we get y squared, and what's 8 squared? There's the circle, or sorry, there's the equation of the circle. All right? So the easy way to remember this is that if your center is 0, 0, all you're really doing is just squaring whatever the radius is, and that number is your number for what your equation has to be equal to. All right? Moving on. Number 47. What does number 47 say? Okay, same basic idea, right? What pieces are squared here? Just x, just y, or x and y? They're both squared, right? So for us, that means that it's either a circle, an ellipse, or a hyperbola. And for us, because there's no division involved, we know it's a circle. Okay? So in order to graph this, I need to get it to look like standard form. So what two pieces are grouped together for standard form? X and y. So I need to get my x's and y's together. So I'm going to move the negative x squared over, right? And your standard form says x squared plus y squared equals some number, correct? So what do you think I'm going to do with this negative 121? I'm going to add it across to the other side, right? So my equation is going to become x squared plus y squared equal to 121. Any questions on how I was able to rewrite that? Yes or no? And then what do the directions say to do on this graph it? Oh, just identify if it's a circle or a parabola. Okay. So is this a circle or a parabola if they're both squared? Circle. If just x is squared, it's a parabola. If just y is squared, it's a parabola. If x and y are squared, it's a circle. Okay, so basically you've got the three different formats, right? You've got this one for circles, and then remember, not yesterday, but the day before, you had x squared equals 4py, and y squared equals 4px, right? So these are what your parabolic functions look like. This is what a circular function looks like. Everybody okay with that? So all they're really trying to do is ask you to identify which of these does that equation look like. Does it look like the circle, or does it look like one of the parabolas? And then just write in parabola or circle. Everybody okay? Yeah? So remember, these are the ones where I change the directions a little bit. I just want you to identify what that equation represents. Is it a circle? Is it a parabola? Or is it, okay, that's it so far. Everybody okay? Yeah? No? Maybe? All right, so there's 47. What about 48? What's the equation for 48? Okay. How many pieces are squared here? One, right? If there's just one variable squared, what is it? Parabola or circle? Done. That's all I want you to do. Everybody okay? Yes? No? Maybe? All right, so what about number 50? Okay. So, for a circle, right, again, is there anything in front here? Do I have anything in front of my x term? No. Do I have anything in front of my y term? No. So in order for this to be a circle and not be an ellipse or a hyperbola, we have to be able to get rid of everything in front of x and y. Okay? So what would I do to get x squared by itself? Divide by what? Okay. So if I divide everything by 12, what's 12 divided by 12 here? They cancel, right? And leave me with an x squared plus y squared. I really don't care what's happening over here on the right-hand side. 192 divided by 12, it might be an even number, it might not. I'm not going to worry about it. The main thing is I've isolated to where I have 1x squared plus 1y squared, right? That's what we want for a circle. We have to have 1x squared and 1y squared added together. Is everybody okay with that? So we're not allowed to have anything in front of x and y or anything underneath x and y in order for it to be a circle. Okay? So is this going to be a circle or a parabola? This is a circle. Okay, and why I'm trying to make that distinction now is the next couple sections, when we get into ellipses and hyperbolas, the formulas are very similar, but we're going to have x squared plus y squared, but we're going to have stuff in the bottom. Okay? So if you have pieces in the denominator, then you're no longer going to be a circle, but you're going to be an ellipse or a hyperbola. Everybody okay with that? So when I say circle, it has to be 1x squared plus 1y squared equals something. If you can get that, then it's a circle.